All right, San Francisco has a new sheriff in town, and he's sparking new outrage for refusing to cooperate with ICE.
Our department is not involved in immigration enforcement. We feel that's a federal matter, and our realm of interest is public safety. And you can't really have a safe community if community members are afraid to come to us to report crimes.
This is the same jurisdiction where an illegal immigrant was acquitted of murdering Kate Steinle. So how do these policies protect the public? Chairman of the San Francisco Republican Party, John Dennis, joins us live with his thoughts. Sir, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
What's your message to the sheriff?
I beg your pardon?
What's your message to the sheriff?
Oh, my message to the sheriff is to come down on the side of the people. The sheriff is elected by the people, not by bureaucrats in City Hall. And the people want the sheriff to enforce the immigration policies. So I talked to the sheriff yesterday, incidentally. I think he's in a tough position, but I think he could actually give more consideration to what the people want.
Well, if you're talking about what the people want, if you look at San Francisco, they continue to elect these liberal leaders. They just elected the new DA, Chesa Boudin, who is extremely liberal. Couldn't you argue that the situation in San Francisco is what people are voting for? They're getting what they voted for.
Well, yeah, and look at the results. If you look at the condition of the city, they keep electing these progressives. The progressives have used what we have ranked choice voting. They've used it to their advantage, and as a result, we've pursued more far left policies, and the city is in complete disarray because of it.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at some numbers here, because more than 86% of the approximately 143,000 illegals arrested by ICE in 2019 had criminal convictions or pending charges. That is a significant number. What does that number say to you about what's going on over there?
Well, it's saying is that our streets are getting less and less safe, and it's also sort of a self-interested, narcissistic kind of thing. San Franciscans are inflicting their policy on immigration across the rest of the country because people can go wherever they like. It's not fair for people in Nebraska to have to live with the policies that San Franciscans set, especially when the Constitution is completely clear. The federal government has authority over immigration and naturalization.
That's a good point, because they're not just limited to San Francisco, then.
Exactly, yeah. And you're going to run for Congress. You're going to run for, I guess, California 12, right?
That's right. And my opponent is someone you may be familiar with. Her name is Nancy Pelosi. Have you heard of her?
Yeah, I have. I guess my question is, as a Republican, again, I mean, they keep voting for very liberal people, especially in that part of California. How can you win?
Well, first thing we have to do is get into the top two. So we have this top two system in California, and that primary is a week from Tuesday. So we've got to get into at least second place. I'm going to concede that Nancy Pelosi will get the most votes that day. Yeah. But if I get into second, then it'll just be a showdown between the two of us, Nancy Pelosi versus John Dennis, in November.
All right. Well, we'll be watching it to see what happens, sir. Thanks for joining us.
The pleasure is mine. Thanks for having me.